You're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 4, episode 6 of Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L. I am in like the most like physically uncomfortable chair in my hotel room right now. Like it's like four-legged chair at a desk. What is the reason? Where is a rolling chair with ergonomic support? People are getting really like way too fancy with the hotel rooms. Like I have this camera propped up like on this rock formation. And I know it's Arizona, but like okay, all right. How about a tissue box? How about a TV stand? That would be nice. Like, let's go back to basics. So I was not about to delay a gay rave again. I already did it once this season and I don't want to make it a habit. So I've been traveling to Arizona for most of the day, but I'm still feeling that Adderall residually running through my veins. So let's fucking do this. Okay. I remember the first time I took Adderall. I remember being like, oh, okay. One of those ha hms, like, wow, this would have been so sick. And then I also had this depressing realization that I was already a know it all and it was only about to get worse. I was like, oh, you thought I was insufferable before? Check out these 10 milligrams. You know what I'm saying? I read an entire book on the flight. The flight was a little over 5 hours. It was like between 5 and 6. I read, I think it's called The Stoic Challenge, A Philosopher's Guide to Stoicism. Very interesting read, quick, easy, not too difficult to understand conceptually. And most of all, it's just talking about how like old philosophers and the Stoics believed that the ability to live a life that is not sort of getting a handle over your negative emotions. It's sort of thinking and reasoning your way out of even having them. It's sort of like negative emotion prevention instead of negative emotion management, which is quite interesting. And I know that sounds like okay, toxic positivity, which like I get, but the point is essentially to try to find like tranquility and peace in your daily life. So, I've mentioned, for example, my challenge, which is people walking on the sidewalk. Nothing makes me more irate than walking on the sidewalk with people who don't know how to walk. And so I legitimately read this book to try to understand and get better at not letting it ruin my fucking day. I used to drive to work like 10 years ago and I had to move closer to work to not take the highway because it was ruining my fucking day and their in turn everyone else's fucking day. Like that is how bad it is. So essentially what they're saying is that every setback that approaches you, it can't be something that you foresee coming. It's just like, say for example, like a flight delay or a flat tire or something like that. Every setback is as it intended, and getting upset about it is not the best way to manage it because it only exists to make you miserable. And so the way that you sort of take your power back is by saying, this is essentially like what was meant for me. Here are the two options. The first thing is to, within the first 5 seconds, understand that, like, okay, let me meet this challenge and find the best way, either like the fastest way or the quickest workaround to overcome the challenge, first of all. And then, second of all, how can I look at this as an opportunity to like be a better version of myself or push myself? So that I realize is coming across as like you are trying too much to control your own mind. Get that. But I did find it quite interesting. So that's what I did. Maybe I'll be better now. Maybe I won't. You really never know. Only time will tell. So, current events, things happening in my world. Hashtag Gab's World. Gab's World 2.0. My team, this ragtag bunch. It's like every millennial website looking to hire people. This ragtag bunch of individuals is looking for their next marketing professional. Like this is us. So the pickleball team I was on a Volo league every Wednesday night, and it was Abby, Patty, and Gabby, three gay best friends, the Powerpuff Girls, essentially, two Alvins of Alvin and the Chipmunks fame, and one Simon in Patty, and then a fourth random man who got added named Josh. Josh, a nice man, was on our team, obviously named Gay Rave, and he really took it in stride. He was pretty good. So everyone in the league was like, oh, Gay Rave, obviously thinking that we were a bunch of like fairly buff gay men. No, it was a bunch of chipmunks rolling up. And in the end, we did win the entire league. And to that, I say, I am so sorry. These teams, like, who wore athletic wear and who really like brought their A game, we defeated in the final. That team had lost 0 games all season. And they were quite upset when they lost. And my point to them is don't take it so seriously. Okay. Because there's always going to be a fucker who's going to beat you essentially as a fluke, and you're just going to have to live with that. Have you tried reading the Stoic Challenge? It might do you some good, babe. Okay. Moving on. I also started hip hop classes with Raver Amelia. So we are doing those every Saturday, and those have been super fun. Just getting back into it. I did hip hop dance classes for like 9 or 10 years as a child, and I quit when I started to get to have an uncomfortable body image. So like all the girls were wearing, like crop tops, and our recital outfits would all be like crop tops, and people would have like belly button rings and like look really sexy. And I didn't feel comfortable showing my body. So my mom would sew on a nude fabric where my stomach would be, and everyone knew because it was super shiny. And so it made it really obvious that I was really insecure about my belly. And so then everyone was paying attention to it and looking at it and making fun of me. So like that is probably why I quit, but ultimately I'm back, baby. And it's cool again. Okay, okay. So that's what's going on in my world. And as the philosopher said, the way that we continue to challenge ourselves is by going on stoic journeys. So, seeking out ways in which we can challenge ourselves, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones, and also doing things that we think are hard to see how we'll respond. And I said, been there, done that, babe. Been doing that. Little did I know, I'm fucking Socrates. Okay. I am actually living the life of a philosopher. I didn't even know it. So, what you think is Gay Rave, a podcast that I do for 100 people, is actually written in stone from the years of yore. Okay. Moving on, music news. Robin just dropped a new song called Dopamine, Robin of Dancing on My Own fame. And I feel like this is giving Padam Padam, because the way that I was listening to the song and I said, this reminds me of Padam Padam in the way that Kylie Minogue came out with that song in order to put out another gay hit to sustain their legacy. And that is why I say, Robin, go for it. Absolutely go for it. It is absolutely giving that energy. It's still a hit. I plan to hear it in the club. Okay, moving on. Charlie XCX put out music for the movie Wuthering Heights. She did the Wuthering Heights in quotation marks to show that like it's a modern take on it or whatever. Listen, whatever they have to do to get it done. I'm not a movie executive, and thank God I'm not. I would be greenlighting all of the Alvin and the Chipmunks 4, 5, 6. They'd be having kids. Listen, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So that came out, and there's visuals with it too. That's really cool. Loving that. The Rosalia. Are you fucking kidding me? The fact that Rosalia put out the album is a work of art. And I really had to do a deep dive because all of it is in Spanish and other languages, by the way. It's like operatic. She has it playing with like a live orchestra, but she wrote all the music, like the composure and the lyrics. It's fucking amazing. It's a piece of art, but not easy listening. Not easy listening. It's one of those sort of like brooding, emotional, very like highs and lows orchestra vibes, very much not giving pop, not giving the club. So, as Alina said, these gays who say they're listening to Rosalia are doing it for clout. They are liars. And to that, I say, yes, you are right. Other current events, Pope Leo, we have to continue to maintain our Pope watch. Pope Leo is actually having dinner with a trans activist for the Jubilee. So every 25 years, it's like the Jubilee at the Vatican. And so they host all different people from around the world to experience like what is every 25 years in the Catholic Church, which is like a celebration of the religion. And this dinner that he's having with this trans activist is called like the Jubilee for the Poor. And I'm like, could we not have lumped them in with someone else? Like diversity or something like that? Like, does it have to be the poor? Insult and injury, insult and injury. That's all I have to say. Okay, that's all I have to say. But we're going to jump right into rave reviews because we're keeping this brief because mama's tired. Rave review is November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance. And to that I say, I remember you and all my trans baddies. So everybody wish our trans besties, our MBs, all an amazing Transgender Day of Remembrance. And remember them on that day, but also all week, and buy them a little something or buy them a drink or do something nice for someone. Okay. And to all my future MBs, call me. You know my type. Okay. Okay. Grave review. This one's kind of a big one. The Epstein files. I love how I'm like, oh, Rosalia. And then it's like the Epstein files. Listen, it's not like the Epstein files in itself. Like, obviously, the Epstein files are horrific and very, very bad. And the abuse that he did to tens, if not hundreds, of young women, horrifying. And not young women, sorry, girls, underage girls, fucking horrifying. The fact that Ghislaine Maxwell is in like Club Fed and her security guards are complaining because she's getting all these rights and she's changing the channels on the TV and she gets like a therapy dog. That's psychotic. This is darkest timeline bullshit. We know this. But the silver lining, so it is a grave review, but the silver lining is that as these sort of 20,000 emails have been released, and there was an email between Epstein and his brother talking about how Donald Trump sucked off Bubba. And everyone was saying that Bubba is Bill Clinton. It really it made the internet pretty good. I saw one tweet that was like, damn, am I the only one who hasn't sucked off Bill Clinton at this point? Like, what the fuck? Oh my god, the internet is so good. And the rumors were getting so bad that Epstein's brother actually came out on the record and said that, by the way, the Bubba that's being referred to in the email is not Bill Clinton and is in no way Bill Clinton. And to that I say, the only thing that you're going to set the record straight on is the Bubba thing. You're like, Donald Trump did not suck off Bill Clinton. He sucked off somebody else named Bubba. And all the other shit, no comment, by the way. Fucking psychotic. Okay, this is the world we live in. Darkest timeline shit. Speaking of darkest timeline, can I say something? New York Times, are you good? Are you good? They had this sort of like video debate, and it was like an article that was like, is woke feminism ruining the workplace, or like, is modern feminism ruining the workplace? Virginia sent this to me, shout out Rave, Virginia. And I watched it and I read some of the discourse, and most of all they had these two sort of theorists on who talked about how like feminism is actually not good for women, and it stifles women in a way, it's stifling society. And one woman was actually like, woke ideology makes it so that every woman is a victim and every man is not, and that's actually holding women back in a way worse way. And like, she also looked sort of like an evil villain, like the way that you would draw someone who's like actually either going to like bore you to death or lecture you to death or like be like a comically smart evil villain. Okay. So like that's one person. And the other person was sort of like, we should be encouraging women to like have children, and we should be nurturing women's like innate desires and encourage women to be like forming relationships and having children. And recent feminist ideology has actually been de-incentivizing those things, making them like culturally uncool. So essentially, like, if you express desire for like a relationship with a man or to have children, like, you become societally ostracized a little bit. I'm boiling all this down and essentially paraphrasing into Gab's opinion. Copyright TM. Okay, Gab's opinion. Gab GPT. But it was crazy. The moderator was giving nothing. He was giving, okay, ladies, you're making some points. Now, what about this? Are we making points? I know that you are a moderator and you're not here to like rebut these things, but are you okay? Are we okay? Why are we having this discussion? Okay, go on and have it then. Go on. Do I feel like feminism is ruining the workplace? No. Do I feel like it is slaying Boots Mama? Yes. You want to know why it's not ruining the workplace? Because I work in human resources and I see hate crimes and horrible misogynistic shit happen every single day. If it was ruining the workplace, these people wouldn't be succeeding at keeping women down. Okay, nice, cool. Moving on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And we all have to pour one out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pour one out. We're all going to pour one out for pennies. Pennies don't exist anymore, you guys. They all vanished. They printed the last penny last Wednesday. The mint decided they will no longer be putting pennies into circulation. Like, obviously, people can still use pennies to this day. But I do feel like they are going to become hashtag rare, like the $2 bill. They are going to become like the new, like, you remember those like USA quarter maps that everyone said they were going to matter, which they still don't, still waiting. Like Beanie Babies, still waiting. Okay, still waiting. So I am stockpiling my pennies, and the joke is on all of you because I actually have several pennies in my possession, and I plan to be taking inventory of them, and they are going to one day be worth more than a penny. And sorry, I'm going to be a billionaire because every time I see a penny and I pick it up, not only am I going to be lucky, I'm going to have something that is going to be a future relic and it's going to be in museums and they're going to need them and I'm going to have them all. Okay. So don't bring your pennies around me because I will be stealing them. Also, not for nothing, the 4.99 of it all, the 4.99, 5.99 culture that we have of everything being X and 99 cents, is that going to have to change? I think pennies are more valuable than a nickel. Can I just say this right now? Can I say something? Moving from I'm sorry back to can I say something? I think that we should fuck the nickel. Why are we fucking Lincoln over again? Who is throwing a nickel into a fountain? Who's throwing a nickel into a fountain? Does that give you luck? No, it actually gives you the opposite. If you throw a penny in, you're lucky. You're living your best life. You feel charm and whimsy. Now, a nickel, that's all you're going to have to do. A dime? I don't know. Now you're getting rid of big money. 2 dimes and a nickel makes 25 cents. 25 cents, you're halfway done with your laundry. All right. So, all I'm saying is, I am sorry to the humble penny because they are no longer going to be printed. And I'm sorry to all of you because I am going to be on the lookout for pennies so that one day when someone is in need of pennies and someone is looking to trade for a bunch of pennies, trade real money or cryptocurrency or whatever currency that we have in the future, I'm going to be like, haha, I have a lot of them because I thought about this moment. Okay, so joke's on you. Songs of the week. I have been obsessed with You Don't Have to Call by Usher, obviously. As the Super Bowl is approaching, I can't stop listening to Usher and also Bad Bunny, obviously, in preparation, and All Night by Beyonce. So bringing back Lemonade, it's been great, obviously, but that song All Night, oh my God, absolutely stunning. It's stunning. Okay. So that is all I have to say for today. I know this is a short episode, but it is 9:57 p.m. It is 9:57 p.m. Hold on, let me show you. It is 9:57 p.m. in Arizona time, which means that it is about to strike midnight Eastern time. All right. So I'm going to go to bed. I have to get up at 6 o'clock Arizona time because my Uber is leaving at 7 a.m. We're meeting in the lobby at 7. Meetings start at 8 o'clock here. Meetings start at 8 o'clock here because people in Arizona are fucking built different. Also, they don't turn the clocks back. So instead of it being a 3-hour time difference, now it's 2. Great. Great. But confusing. And because everyone's working on Eastern times, meetings start early as fuck. So not only is my body on Eastern time, now I'm here and it's just fucking me up a little bit. Like the workday is starting earlier, but we're 2 hours behind. So then I'm all fucked up. Okay, make that make sense. I've missed you so much, and I will try to never let you down again. I am so glad that we got to chat. This has been Gay Rave. I am the Gabby L, and the L is for say it with me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.